Lanita Slaughter is a supervisor in the Hammond Fold department at Dundee Mills and Griffin. Like so many other Georgians, her public school education didn't prepare her for the demands of the modern workplace.
Back in the 50s, it wasn't that important. But as time went on and years passed and I had children and saw the need of an education, then I felt like that I should set an example and go back, and I did.
The system that failed to prepare Lanita Slaughter 30 years ago still fails to prepare thousands of students each year. Close to 40% of Georgia students drop out of high school. Georgia ranks 49th among the 50 states in the percentage of students finishing school. Many Georgia students who do finish high school don't have the math and reading skills one would expect in a high school graduate.
On the verge of the 21st century, we have children, young people, are functionally illiterate at graduation. There's something wrong with the system.
This poses a serious threat to continued economic growth in Georgia. It's simply becoming more and more difficult to find people in Georgia with the basic academic skills to be productive in a high-tech world. This critical problem has brought together a unique group of Georgians from all over the state who have been working for months on a plan to bring about sweeping changes in Georgia education. The Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education includes about 200 civic leaders, educators, elected officials, and, significantly, leaders of business and industry. In fact, the partnership idea emerged from the Business Council of Georgia and former Business Council Chairman Melvin KRUGER, a Macon businessman.
An educated citizenry is what makes the state great or not great. And we have to assume our responsibility and become more oriented to finding ways to make it a better place to live and work and therefore to do business.
On Monday, the partnership will adopt a series of recommendations. Members believe these proposals, if implemented, will transform the status quo and give Georgia children the best education available in the United States. Two concepts stand out. One would make teachers, principals, and local school boards responsible for virtually all the decisions affecting their schools, decisions now made within the state bureaucracy. Another recommendation calls for the development of community collaboratives. These joint efforts would make other segments of the community, such as civic and business groups, more involved and more responsible for local education. The results can already be measured in a few Georgia communities. Here in Griffin, for instance, at Dundee Mills, the town's biggest employer.
20 years ago, there were about 150 employees in this plant hemming towels by hand. Today, there are about a dozen. The textile industry, like so many other American industries, has become increasingly automated and computerized.
A machine can do the job faster and cheaper, but to operate this machine, a worker has to know how to operate the computer that controls it. But many of the mill workers have little education. Some are functionally illiterate.
In order to continue to operate, we had to educate folks, and in order to take care of those people as far as jobs went, they had to be able to read and write.
Let's read that first sentence again. Somebody read that to us.
That realization led to this, a partnership between Dundee Mills and Griffin Technical Institute to offer classes in reading, math, and English to any employee who wants them. Griffin Tech provides the teachers in the classrooms. Dundee Mills pays the bills. Lanita Slaughter and well over 100 of her co-workers have accomplished what they never thought they would. They've passed their GED exams and are now high school graduates. Mill worker Joanne Watts, who dropped out of high school 25 years ago, is working toward that dream.
Oh, yeah, I want that real bad. That's what my main was, to get a diploma or either GED.
Robert FARROW dropped out of school in the 8th grade. Why is it that you're learning more here than you did back in your regular school?
Well, I want to learn now. And back when I was a kid, you know, we didn't pay much attention.
Jenny COCHRAN works full-time, goes to classes, and is raising a 4-year-old son. Jenny, why did you decide to come back to school?
For my little boy, to teach him and learn more.
Jenny's son Jesse is learning too in another part of the building. While their parents attend class, children receive instruction as well. Older kids can get help with their homework.
They teaching me stuff that I didn't know, like fractions of it. They was always hard. And they teaching me, you know, different stuff. And when he grows up, I can teach him. Wayne Brown is director of Dundee Mills' education program. With his father working at Dundee Mills, Wayne Brown grew up literally in the shadow of the mill. He worked his way through college and now recruits employees to continue their education.
So I realized the value of education, and now it's real easy for me to go and to try to talk to our people about the value of education and how it will help them to do greater things. So it's a joy to have that opportunity to tell them this.
Company President Henry Walker was for many years chairman of the Griffin-Spalding County School Board. He says good students can get a good education in Georgia, but the state needs to turn its attention to people failed by the system. Dundee Mill's education program has convinced Walker local business has a responsibility to get involved.
And they give you some testimonials that almost make you cry, really. And as far as the program goes, with us, it's a humanitarian program, and it just makes you feel good, to answer your question.